Hello, hello. Today we are going to talk about how to start your negotiations. I think sometimes it feels intimidating because you just don't know how to start the conversation. And so this talk today is going to be useful for people that are both negotiating for a new job, as well as those who have a job that they're trying to stay at, a company that you like, but you just want to negotiate for a higher rate for that company. So, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're consistently connecting with your manager. In most companies, you start the negotiation process with your whoever you direct report to. So, if that's a lead OT, or if that's the director of the department, or a clinical director or administrator, whoever it is that you direct report with is generally who you start these negotiations with. If you're negotiating with HR, they don't know you, that's a whole different approach. So, with those people, when you have that FaceTime, that one on one time, anytime you have a meeting where it's just you and the person you direct report to, you want to make sure that you're understanding what their perspective is. Because in order to sell yourself as being worthy of having a salary adjustment or a raise, you're going to really need to understand what are the goals and objectives of that person who's in charge of you and your work. So, for example, if you're meeting with your director, maybe you have some one on one time with them, you might want to ask something like, "Tell me what you're excited about. What are you working on right now that's really got you excited?" By asking that question regularly, you will start to understand their values. What do they think is important? And when you understand their values, it will help you to target your communication around those values. So let's say they say, "I'm really excited about the clinical pathway we're developing for spinal cord injuries." And so you want to tuck that away and think about ways that you can contribute to that project, and keep note of the ways that you can contribute to that project. And next time you meet with your manager, you want to say, "Oh, I know you've been so excited about that clinical pathway. Did you see the standardized tests that I found that I thought might be good for measuring change in that population? Did you get a chance to review the research that I identified that might help us to shape that program?" So, thinking of ways that you can contribute to that thing that your director is so excited about. And then, of course, always writing this stuff down, because I think what happens is we do all this awesome stuff. We're just out there being really good therapists, coming up with new ideas, implementing new things. And when the time comes for our annual review, or the time comes for us to advocate for a raise, we draw a blank as to what we've contributed. And so I have a little notebook, and it's broken down by month. And every month I force myself to sit down and think of anything that I contributed to the company that month. And I make a note there. And that way a year goes around and I can still remember, that's right, I did that lecture that they wanted me to do. And that's right, I helped contribute to that program development that my director was so excited about. And it helps me to build that case. Another question that you can ask is, what's got you worried? What's keeping you up at night? What are you afraid is going to go wrong in our department? And understanding that pain point will also help you to contribute in a way that's meaningful, as well as build a case for your negotiations. And, honestly, if we know what's worrying our director, then those are important things to know, not just for ourselves, not just so that we can make more money, but also so that we can help our clients by making sure that our department is running smoothly. So it's not all about what you can get out of it, but it is certainly helpful for when you go into the negotiations. Another very important thing to recognize is that your director is also having their performance measured by someone. So your director probably also has a boss. And that boss is measuring them and deciding if they get a raise or not when they go in for their negotiations. So, a good question to ask is, what are your key performance indicators that you're measured on in your role? A key performance indicator is the abbreviation for that is KPI. And this is business speak. This is what the person who's doing the books starts to know about because that's what they're being measured on. And common KPIs have to do with revenue compared to expense. So how many sessions have to be completed in order for us to make money? It's things like that, or it could be related to compliance issues around chart audits or performance improvement. It depends on the environment that you work in. So those are questions that you can ask to prepare yourself to make a good argument when it's time to have those salary negotiation conversations. Remember to ask, what are you excited about? What's got you worried? And what are your key performance indicators? Okay, so take notes, go out, ask those questions, and get ready to be prepared so that you can make a strong argument for your next salary negotiations. And let me know how it goes. Add a comment below so that I can help shape these talks to be more useful for you.